Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na 23. That means say number 23 day for this month of February for the year 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, Mr. No Connie, Own Kontri Man, Ambazonian FBI. The man where they come for tell una the truth without fear of eye. Now me, where they wash una back, looking out for you. For this podcast, we will bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work out for this journey to our freedom.
10 years ago, I saw you Rastaman, I saw you Rastaman, I saw you Rasta.
Fellow good citizens of Ambazonia, Unada experience the new look of our podcast. From now henceforth, I will do the podcast as an independent activist on my personal capacity as Capo Daniel, Mr. No Connie, to make a big distinction with my function as an official member of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the ADF, and as the spokesperson of the governing council. Each time I go to come for make announcement as the spokesman for the Ambazonian governing council, I go to do am so stating clearly, say I dey talk as the spokesperson, and each time I do so as the deputy defense chief, I go to talk so as well. This changes na a very big changes for this platform. It be meant for be a more neutral person, as una know say there is a press aspect of this podcast and our engagement in reporting news, in spreading information, and also in revolutionary messages we send out to our people. We also do the cultural warrior. I'm a cultural warrior for push our cultural emancipate ourselves so that we will be free. So ladies and gentlemen, today for this late edition and for the new beginning, for a new page for my activism, I come for now like an independent activist, and a lot of people then go be very happy because they always say I need for the report very accurately with more fairness so that it could be more partisan, and I just so I go to do. So when I go to hear my podcast as an independent activist, not be like a member of the Ambazonian Governing Council or a defense official. So when I go to take my word for my word, and I'm going to do so in my own capacity as an Ambazonian activist. So today for this podcast, we want to talk about the massacre where it done take place for inside Kembene, and also the death of 3 Ambazonian them where they come up for inside Menchum State for whom where them be crushed by Cameroon occupation, their reckless driving of their armored car of terror for inside our city, for inside Bamenda. But first, I go on for use this opportunity for give a highlight for our people. As soon as I know, say, I will be not cultural warrior. We need for bring information will be educative for our people them. We want to explain for our people them how a revolution it function. The revolution it be recognized. Revolution for a fight for a country it be recognized when the people them organize themselves in an organization or in a group. The whole country of 8 million cannot represent themselves. So for a proper way for represent our interests and our plight, now for organize ourselves into groups or into an organization, a big organ. For some country that they be lucky for get just few, for someone that they get one. Most often you get a diverse group where they fight for the same country and for the same cost. We cannot fight for Ambazonian freedom as individuals, because we know if we have 10,000 different activists to give instruction for our population and for organization and for forces them, it be very irresponsible. Activists need for stick for activism and for give their opinion and for shape public opinion, for educate our public, and also for assist the organization for disseminate their information for the general public. That is supposed to be the use of activists. Activists supposed to be a worker man for the population and for organization. An activist not be a leader. Activists not supposed to give instructions and for give command for forces them, but they need to give advice for forces them, because our soldiers, our population, they need advice the most. So activists, they need to know their rule and they need to know their place. Problem with us for Ambazonia, I say when any man idan begin gain power, warana in terms of fame, they will start begin carry their shoulder over their head. We need to know that one. So I will act as an activist, and would not always give an example of how people they need to behave. For Ambazonia, I don't save all the organizations, and I don't always be for support all of our leader them. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, amongst all our leaders them, where they don't come up from the various movement them, I feel say it be the most legitimate, because it be in accordance with the law them for the organization where they elected duly, and the organization be properly constituted by Ambazonia. We get many splinter group them where they get no basis in terms of constituents assembly of our people them for elect them. They are just groups with friends who have splintered to maintain their own political vision. There are also other groups that are properly constituted like Morisk, but have basically been redundant or rendered inactive. There are many Ambazonian organizations. You have the Republic of Ambazonia of Gojidinka. You have the SCNC, which is his ideology does not push for the conflict of war, but are very much active in terms of our mobilization of our people. So there are many more, and I will always bring those information in a very fair and balanced manner while pushing what I believe in. I believe Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba is the most articulate, visionary leader that knows exactly what he's doing, and more importantly, because we need this more and more amongst all the leaders, I feel say not only be able to go over ego, be able to overcome shortcomings and more than other people them. So I'll continue to support ye as an activist and for support the Ambazonian Governing Council as an activist, while also being a member. So I'm a member, I'm the spokesperson, I'm the Deputy Defense Chief. Nevertheless, I will act in the public through my podcast and publications as an independent activist henceforth. So, fellow Ambazonians, I go on to talk about these two things the way that happened. One, the massacre way that take place for Kombene. And the most disturbing thing for this massacre, where the Cameroon occupation terrorist forces then come for them with high caliber weapons, open fire for civilian them, killing 5 innocent civilians them, with reportedly one Ambazonian fighter where he be killed for inside Kembene. I go bring that for now, and the disturbing stories behind this happening for Kembene. But first, I go want to talk for now about 3 Ambazonian where they come off a womb, where they don't kill them by armored car due to reckless driving by Cameroon occupation forces in Bamenda. You want be for Sunday for around my 6 for inside Mancon for 8 o'clock for morning time. La Republique du Cameroon, their armored car, they drive recklessly, then jam 3 people them for road for day, and 2 of them die on the spot. 1 man will come off for ASO. Be very sad because a place where they don't suffer a lot during this war with Fulani. They come in for attack them. Where they call Mr. Guy Martin. He too died this afternoon for Bamenda for hospital. We be for the accident. Cameroon occupation terrorist forces, their armor car jam them. They not stop. They not break for give them first aid. Then just abandon them for they begin to go. And like say they not see which way happen. So we cry with them. They don't join part of the victims of this Cameroon terrorism. So fellow Ambazonians who could go for the Atlantic state, for inside our village, for inside Kombene is some small village. If you come up from Kumba, you do want to go around from my one day from Bonge Park. You do pass around Kake 1, Kake 2. Kombene is some small roadside village where you do for road. If you pass around that 3 corner for Ekumbe, you go towards that Ekumbe. Ekumbe then just after Ekumbe na Kwakwa. When I remember Kwakwa where La Republique be born, I want make We all would travel together, would see our country, would learn more about our country. So after Kombene, na roadway they pass, it go for Kwakwana, just on small roadway na junction way, few houses them day for day. The very sad thing, my country people them, make when I first hear the audio way they come from the video from Kombene. The very sad thing for this video, if una hear, there is a woman crying above the son. The son have been killed. And it talks in a work for Amber this. The talks is slavery. Now when they then transform not only your body into a slave, but even your mind, my fellow country people, for the road for Kombene, now the roadway La Republique, their occupation be them. Their engineer service, now they reconstruct that road. They don't pass for this area. One people, they need even sleep for farm. They now for their own protection because they fear say Ambazonian forces that can come for inside forest, attack them. How they reconstruct that road for being used and for pass easily, go attack our people for born villages. Whether na military supposed to protect civilian or they go take na civilian for protect themselves. It is show we say na a desperate military where they no fit fight war. So wait till way that happen. They don't pass for all these villages along the road where they want Bilam. They want population say if Ambazonian forces then come for any place, they attack them, they go come for they go can kill all civilian them. Because they know say for Ambazonian forces them for exist, the civilian population therefore they must support them. So after repeated warning for this village, for Kombene, some Ambazonian fighter them where they live around that area, they can put checkpoint for they begin collect money for motor them. They do their road checking. Then collect money according to eyewitness. They would then talk for them. Then collect money for some bike man where the money they not taken for correct way. Now we will be excessive. Now he with that bike man he don't vex. He drive. He go meet up La Republique, the occupation terrorists. He tell them say Ambazonian fighter then there for that particular junction. The Cameroon occupation military then work inside bush, come for behind, open fire wildly inside population, killing 5 innocent civilians, all of them youth, and 1 Ambazonian fighters reportedly as we to they talk. As soon as hear for that audio, the mommy them where they cry, they blame the Ambazonian fighter them. What a very pity and very pathetic thing. The activity for any human being for take away human life, it is on your head. Now La Republique du Cameroon, their responsibility, now their crime for every act of terrorism when they commit them, irrespective of whether na reprisal attack or not. Now then decide for attack civilian them. The whole ideology of putting our people as a slave. Now for turn their brains me they think now upside down, make you as a victim. You blame yourself for the suffering where the perpetrator it put them on you. Me a girl, he blame himself say then raping a because of a fine or wearing a short skirt. Now the mindset that of the oppressed and the mindset said that for change people them into slavery. How come they don't transform our mommy them for Kombene? So the person go kill a pikin. You know go they cry they blame na man way kill a pikin. But you go to blame na people they be stand for corner. A military supposed to be professional for attack only man way they attack ye. For shoot only man way get gun way they shoot ye. When a professional trained military then come specifically for attack the community because of the presence of fighters, they tell our people them say they no get no protection under their constitution. Say them be less than human beings. They no consider their life like anything. They are not there to protect you. Ambazonian fighter, they fight for a political reason, for justice for the people of Ambazonia. La Republique du Cameroon know that. They want to condition our mind of our people to think that somehow there is a justification for them to be killed because Ambazonian forces are around them and somehow it is their obligation to fight or drive away Ambazonian forces from the community that the forces come from. And the community for which, on behalf of that community, the Ambazonian fighters are fighting for the first place. This is unacceptable. Our people must emancipate themselves from all this pollution and evil teaching of La République du Cameroon. The use of fear, intimidation. People are even afraid to blame Cameroon military. As a matter of fact, I've spoken to one of the family who lost the family member in Bamenda through that armour car. They are even afraid to tell the world that their children were killed by Cameroon military armored car because they know that the consequences will be death. They are afraid to speak out. The fear of death from Cameroon, the use of threat of terror against our people is crippling, and our people are being transformed into people who do not reason, who are unable to reason. This is slavery in its pureness. We must do more to campaign and restore dignity for our people and self-worth for them to know that there is no excuse for somebody to kill or target a civilian or use collective punishment on our people simply because sons and daughters in their communities have stood up for their right to fight for a just cause, a cause that have been termed a just cause not just by Ambazonians but states across the globe have testified of the justness of our cause. We mourn with the 5 civilians we didn't kill them for Kombone, and we pray for their family them and for all Ambazonians them where they don't be brainwashed or crippled into becoming sheeps by La République du Cameroon use of terror, criminalization of our nationality, and judicial persecution of our people. We must stand strong. We must overcome. It is unacceptable to live an improper life. We must live in the truth, and we must establish the truth for Ambazonia. Capo Daniel, signing off.
Rastaman. Tikanja. Ulilaita.